Now, if you read the problem here, a rectangular beam of size one second, I just have to. Yes, Mr. Pavan Kumar, your hands up. Anything? Pavan Kumar Siriala. Okay, a rectangular beam of size 250 by 600 mm is reinforced with 6 numbers of 20 mm diameter bars as tensile reinforcement at a clear cover of 30 mm, among which 2 bars are bent at an angle 45 degree at the support. The beam is provided with 2-legged 10 mm diameter vertical stirrups at 200 mm center to center. The CC means center to center. Determine the strength of the section in shear. This is use M30 grade and Fe415. First of all, let me know whether it's a design problem or analysis problem. You read the problem carefully. Let me know whether it's a design problem or analysis problem.
Analysis.
Not able to hear.
Analysis problem.
Analysis problem, because there is no mention of design. It's an analysis problem because all the reinforcement, tensile reinforcement is given, 6 number of 20 mm bars, 2 bars are bent up at an angle 45 degrees. Shear reinforcement is given, 2-leg 10 mm diameter vertical stirrups provided at 200 mm center to center. So determine the strength of section in shear, or you would find out determine the shear strength of the section. Use M30 and Fe415 steel. So as soon as this kind of problem is given, what you do is you write down all this data and draw the diagram. So here I have cut off the section because beam can be any which long, so I have cut off the section. I am showing only half portion. Remaining half will be on the right side, which I cut off, which will be symmetrical. Same, it will be symmetrical. So here, these blue ones are the bottom tensile reinforcements. These are the hanger bars, which they will not mention here unless if it's a compression reinforcement, they will mention here 2 number of compression bars are provided like that thing. But here nothing is mentioned, so it is a hanger bar or anchor bars. These are the vertical stirrups placed 200 mm center to center. This 2-legged 10 mm diameter at 200 mm center to center. Now you have out of which the bent up parts, like here, as I shown you in the last slide, last class slide, if you see here, yeah. See, there are four bottom reinforcement is provided, 4 numbers are provided. Top there are 2 reinforcements. Out of 4, the middle 2 are bent up near the support. So if you see here at this section, if you see at the bottom there are 4 reinforcements. When you come here in towards the support, you have only 2 tensile reinforcement, isn't it? Out of 4, because 2 is bent at 45 degree or more and taken to the top. So if you take a section here, at the bottom there are 4 reinforcement, at the top there are 2 reinforcement. But if you take a section here near the support, bottom you will have only 2 reinforcement because 2 are bent up and taken to the top. But at the top you will have 4 reinforcements. Is that clear? So same thing. So obviously, if we take section 1.1 at the near, how many number of reinforcement will be there? Tensile reinforcement here. Here up to here, how many tensile reinforcement will be there? This is the support.
6, sir.
How many will be there?
6.
Yeah, there will be 6 number of rods because 6 number of rods are here, out of which 2 bars are bent at an angle of 45 degree at support. So these are the 2 bars which are bent, which will go like this. Okay. So now at the first section, at the section here there are 6 number of reinforcement. And what are the what are the shear reinforcement available at this section? Shear reinforcement is available at this section is which type of shear reinforcement available here? Remember, this is a longitudinal reinforcement which is designed for a bending moment. I told you for a shear force, you will have a different type of shear reinforcement. Now at section 1.1, what type of shear reinforcement? Definitely there is some shear reinforcement. What type of shear reinforcement you have? So you have vertical stirrups are there. The 2-legged 10 mm diameter vertical stirrups. These are all vertical stirrups. At 200 mm center to center is there. That is the shear reinforcement. Is that clear, everyone? Anybody having any doubt? I'm purposely going slow so that you can get the point, because as I told in the first class of unit 3, this year is very easy unit. So you should be able to score nicely in this unit. So at this section 1.1, you only have the shear reinforcement. But there is another thing is also there. You also have another thing. What is another thing? So your entire shear will be resisted only by the shear stirrups or anything else? Anybody?
Bent.
At this section I'm asking, at this section. Bent up bar is here. Here there is no bent up bar. At this section, what else will resist the shear force? One thing you told, shear reinforcements. Is there anything, any other thing which will resist shear force? Anybody? Anyone? Bhaskar, are you there? 48.
Yes, sir.
So apart from the shear reinforcement, what else will resist the shear?
I think concrete.
Yeah, exactly. Concrete also, because you have provided some kind of reinforcements. So concrete also will resist some shear. That is what you are finding out from table 19. Design shear strength of concrete, tau C. That depends upon the grade of concrete and the amount of tensile reinforcement provided. So concrete is there and the shear stirrups is there at this section 1.1. Right? Is that clear? So at this section, you have 6 numbers of 20 mm diameter bars. Okay. So again, I will tell you. Instead of in this, if you see here, instead of 4, we have 6. At this place, we have 6 number of 20 mm diameter bar, out of which 2 are taken to the top. So remaining will be here. Okay. Now, so if you see only, if you take a shear reinforcement only stirrups is there. I am telling about shear reinforcements. So shear reinforcement is only stirrups is there at section 1.1. Now, if you come to section 2.2, right? At 2.2, how many number of tensile steel will be there at this place? Here is 6 numbers are there, and out of these 2 are taken to top, and 2 will go to top. Remaining will continue till support. So, how many number will be there here?
4.
4 number of tensile steel will be continued from here to the support end. Okay. Now at section 2.2, what are all the various kinds of shear reinforcements are there? Shear reinforcements. You have a stirrups, vertical stirrups. and you also have a bent up bars. Is that clear? So here there are two type of shear reinforcements there at section 2.2. One is this vertical stirrups, another one is this bent up bars. Because as I told you, your crack will propagate at 45 degree like this. Now to resist this crack, you have a perpendicular side. This cranked bar is given, and this also, these stirrups also will resist the opening of this 10 crack. Okay, so so at section 2.2, the shear reinforcements are the stirrups and bend up bars. Right now, again, if you go to section 3.3, at section 3.3. Again, the number of reinforcement will be 4 only, because from here, from the point where bent up starts till the end, you will have only 4 number of 20 mm diameter bars. But what is the kind of shear reinforcement available here? Shear reinforcement, anybody? At section 3.3? At section 3.3, what are the different type of shear reinforcement available? Kishore? Are you there?
Sir.
At section 3.3, what are the various types of shear reinforcement available? You are able to see the slide?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, at section 3.3, which is here, what are the various types of shear reinforcement available?
Incline
shear. Sorry? Shear stirrups. Stirrups, vertical stirrups is there. Anything else?
Concrete, sir.
No, I am asking shear reinforcement. Concrete is anyway, the concrete is there from whole, for the whole film, concrete is there. Apart from concrete, when I talk about shear reinforcement, like for example, here I wrote only stirrups. Here, stirrups and bend up bars are there. What about section 3?
Vertical stirrups, sir.
Only vertical stirrups. Bend up bars there or not?
Yes, sir.
Somebody else also answering. Yes, Telma.
Bent up bars, cranked at stops.
Bend up bars?
Cranked at stops.
But will bend up bar here only, it is there here. Will it anyway help in resisting this diagonal crack? See, your diagonal crack, as I told you, diagonal crack will happen like this. Now, definitely this bend up bar will take care of this crack here. But what about this crack will be taken care like here, bend up bar is, it will be here. Will it anyway contribute to this crack? Sorry? Sorry? Can you repeat? Would not hear. Hello? Hello?
The last one, sir. The end of the beam also resistor.
At the end of the beam?
That one also resists these stirrups, no, sir.
Yeah, vertical stirrups is there. Apart from stirrup, anything else is there, I'm asking. So you see, at the top, bend up bar is only here. It is not here like this. It is not, bend up bar is not like this. So obviously, here also you have only stirrups. There is no bend up bar. Bend up bar here it has to be there, means you have to provide like this. Normally that is not done. Is that clear, everyone? Are you all clear? Or if there is any doubt? So at section 1.1, you have only vertical stirrups. Of course, concrete shear due to concrete will come any section you will have a shear resisted by the concrete. Apart from that, here you have stirrups. At section, in this section you have stirrups and bend up bar. At section 3 you have only vertical stirrups. Any doubt, anybody? Please let me know. Because if you know these things, after that only substituting the formula only, and all formulas are given in your code. Any doubt? Okay, I'll proceed further. So I am going to find out at section 1 what is my shear strength of this beam. So at section 1 as we told, stirrups only there plus concrete is there. So at section 1 I have a area of tensile steel is how much? 6 number of 20 mm diameter bar. Please pay careful attention. At section 1 I have 6 number of 20 mm bar, that is a tensile bar. So I have 6 into 314, 1884 millimeter square is a AST. So from this, because I have provided this much reinforcement, I can easily find out from table 19 what is the shear strength of concrete. VC1 is equal to tau C into BD, right? So I can get the shear strength of concrete alone. Then I have a shear reinforcement at section 1 2 leg 10 mm dia vertical stirrups at 200 mm center to center. So I can find out the shear resistance of the vertical stirrup VUS I can find out. So at section 1 only these two only is there. If we add these two values, I will get the shear strength of concrete. So first I am going to find out what is the shear strength of concrete. Shear strength or the design shear strength of concrete VC1 I am going to find out. Percentage of tensile provided steels provided is 100 AST by BD. AST is this much. B and D are given in the problem. The small d is not given. Your overall depth was given as 600 mm, right? So effective depth you can find out. Effective depth is equal to overall depth minus clear cover minus dia of the stirrups minus half of the main reinforcement diameter, which I have explained to you numerous times. So I'm not repeating here. So 600 mm was the original overall depth of the beam is given. Clear cover was given 30 mm. Stirrups diameter is given as 10 mm. And the 20 mm rods are given main steel. So 20 by 2. It is coming out to be 550 mm is the effective depth. So if you substitute all this thing, you are getting percentage of tensile steel provided is 1.37%. And from table for 1.37% and M30 grade concrete, all of you go back and work out what is the tau C value. So I have found out tau C to be 0.734 Newton per millimeter square. So shear strength due to concrete alone is 0.734 Newton per millimeter square. So therefore shear strength of the concrete VC1 is equal to tau C into B into D. So if you calculate, it is coming out to be 100.9 kilonewton. Remember, this is only shear strength taken by the concrete alone. So this is the vertical stirrups. Now vertical stirrups is 2-legged 10 mm dia vertical stirrups at 200 mm center to center is given. So from page number 73 for a vertical stirrups, the shear strength is given VUS equal to 0.87 Fy ASV D into D divided by SV is given, right? So here 0.87 Fy ASV D by SV is there. So all the details are given. What is the ASV here? What is ASV?
Area of steel stirrups, sir.
Area of vertical stirrups. So two leg is there. So 2 into pi by 4 10 square. That is ASV. D is 550 we found out. What is the value of SV? What is the value of SV? What is SV?
157, sir.
SV is 137.
ASV, sir.
ASV is 157. Okay, SV I am asking.
157.
SV is the spacing of stirrups 200. So ASV is 2 into pi by 4 10 square because it's a 2-legged stirrups 10 mm diameter. So 2 into pi by 4 10 square by 4 157. And SV is given as 200 mm. D 550 we found out. So if you find out all this thing, you will get VUS equal to 150 by 0.86 kilonewton. Okay. So therefore shear strength at section 1 is equal to VC plus VUS. VC you found out to be 100, VUS is 155. So together it will be 256.7 kilonewton. This is the shear strength of the section at section 1. Okay. Similarly, at section 2, if you remember, you have a bent up bar, you have a vertical stirrups, you have a concrete. So, but at that time, how much is the area of tensile steel in at the section 2.2? What is the area of tensile steel? How many number of bars are there out of 6?
4 number.
4 numbers. So accordingly you calculate. I have not calculated here, so you calculate. Okay. So from that you find out. Now it will be 4 number of pi by 4 20 square. You find out. Correspondingly you find out what is the shear strength, because shear strength will vary according to 100 AST by BD and the grade of concrete. So you will find out. Stirrups is same. Stirrups will not change because 2-legged 10 mm dia stirrups, 200 mm center to center. For this, you already found out VES. That is a VES link. Link is stirrups. Okay, VES link means stirrups. Link and stirrups both are one and the same. At section 2.2, you also have a bent up bars. So, what is the area of bent up bars? What is the ASV here? Area of bent up bars. At section 2.2. How many numbers are bent up?
2 numbers.
2 numbers, yeah. So it will be 2 into pi by 4. What was the diameter? 20 square. 2 into pi by 4, 20 square. Is that clear, everyone? I am not purposefully, I am not writing here because I want you to do the homework. So area bent up is how many number of bent up rods are bent up? That area 2 into pi by 4 AST square, whatever the steel diameter is square. And bent up bars are for the main bar, main tensile bar, not the stirrups. So it will be 2 into pi by 4 20 square. Okay, that one rod is 20 mm area of steel. So accordingly you find out ASV. So from this you can easily find out shear resisted by the bent up bar. VUSB given in the formula is given. Okay, so design shear strength of concrete 100 AST by, if you want to find out VC2 first, 100 AST by PD. Remember AST will come from here. B you know, D you know. Similarly, I have not written here. Okay, AST I have not written. I want you to find out all this detail. You go back and work it out. So from table 19 for this percentage and M30 grade, find out what is the value of tau C. Then find out what is the value of VC2, tau C BD. So that is this VC2. Shear strength of stirrups is already you found out from the previous step. So same thing you can take. So VUSB is VUSB transfer to bend up bar. That also you find ASV. You know from this shear resisted by the bend up bar. Formula is given in page number 73. If you see page number 73, you have this formula where alpha is the degree of bend up. So 45 degree is given. ASV you know this from how many number of bars are bent. So you can find out VUSB. So VUS 0.87 FY ASV find out from here into sin 45 you will get VUSB. So finally therefore shear strength at section 1.1 is equal to VC plus shear resisted by the link or stirrups plus shear resisted by the bend up bar. You add all this thing together you will get this one. So similarly shear strength at section 3.3 you do it yourself because it is same as shear at section 1.1 but except that at shear strength at 3.3 only difference is that AST is not same. AST is only 4 number of bars, whereas at section 1.1 there were 6 number of bars. So you find out here also how shear strength at section 3.3 will be only VC plus VUS link. Okay. So now I'm going to take up another type of problem. A tapered cantilever beam of span 3 meter has a constant width of 250 mm. Width of the beam is 250 mm. It is a constant. And tapers from 200 mm depth at the free end to 500 mm depth at the support, fixed support. This is a cantilever beam, tapered cantilever beam. Span of the beam is 3 meter. Constant width is given 250 mm. Tapers from 200 mm depth at the free end plus 500 mm at the support. The beam is subjected to an UDL of 50 kN per meter, including itself, right? Determine the nominal shear stress. Determine the nominal shear stress at section 2 meter from the left end. So 2 meter from the free end. Okay, 2 meter from the free end. Cover to the center of the steel. Cover to the center of the steel is 50 mm. Okay, is that understood? Problem statement. So if we do the given data, span is given as 3 meter and this is not given effective span, so whatever span is given, that is a clear span. Constant width of 250 mm and tapers from 200 mm depth at free end to 500 mm at the support. The beam is loaded with an UDL of 50 kN per meter including the self weight. Determine the nominal shear stress at 2 meter from the free end. Nominal shear stress means what? What is the symbol that we are using? Nominal shear stress?
Tau V, sir.
Tau V. So you have to find out tau V at a section 2 meter from the free end. Cover to the center of the steel means it's a effective cover, 50 mm cover. Okay. So now if you see, this is the cantilever beam. This is fixed at the left support, and this span is from here to here is 3 meter, and this depth is 200 mm at the free end, and at the fixed end it is 500 mm overall depth, because it is only given depth. It is not given effective depth. So these are all overall depth. The question asked is, let us say this is. Remember, this W is only service load due to service load. So we have to find out what is the factored UDL. That is, factored UDL will be 1.5 into W. So WU is equal to 1.5 into 50, which is 75 kilonewton per meter. Now you are being asked to find out, determine the nominal shear stress at section 2 meter from the free end. So if you take a section which is 2 meter from the free end, what is the nominal shear stress developed at this section? Remember, now the depth is it is a uniform depth or it is varying depth for this beam. Has a uniform depth or it's a varying depth?
Varying depth.
Varying depth.
Varying. So it's varying depth. In page number 72, if the beam is varying in its depth, how to find out nominal shear stress? Formula is given. Okay. So formula is tau V is equal to VU plus or minus MU by D into tan beta divided by BD is given, right? Suppose if you see the code, I have it here, 72. So here beams are varying depths. You can see for the beams of varying depth, in case of beams of varying depth, the equation shall be modified as tau V is equal to VU plus or minus MU by D tan beta divided by B into D. Okay. So what is MU? Bending moment at the sections. Wherever you want to find out shear stress, at that time, at that section, whatever is the bending MU, and V also shear force at that section. Okay. So I have to find out what is the bending moment and shear force at this point. Okay. For that, see here. So I need to know what is the depth of the beam here. What is the depth of the beam here? I know this is 200 mm. This is 500 mm. So if I take 200 mm constant like this, sorry, this is not straight. So assume that this is a rectangle, okay? These are all 200 mm. So what is this depth? For 3 meter, the difference is how much? This is how much this will be? This will be 300 mm, right? This is 300 mm. So for 2 meters, how much? Obviously 200 mm. Okay. For 3 meter, the difference is 300 mm. I want a 2 meter. What is this height? This height is 3 and 3. For 3 meter it is 300. For 2 meters, how much? So this is coming here to be 200 mm. So 200 plus 200 is 400 mm. So from here, this depth is 400 mm. Okay, this depth is 400 mm. That is the overall depth. So if you reduce the effective cover, you will get this. What is the depth at this place? So effective depth at the section will be 400 minus the effective cover 50 mm. 350 mm is my effective depth at this section. Okay, I am not finding here because my nominal stress is asked at this point, at this section only. My nominal stress is asked at this section. So, and what is the value of tan beta? Tan beta means this one. You take this. What is the angle of this one? This is beta. So obviously tan beta will be Opposite side divided by adjacent side. Opposite side is 300 mm. Adjacent side is 3 meter, which is 3000 mm. So tan beta is equal to 300 divided by 3000, which is 0.1 tan beta. Any doubt so far? Okay. So this if you complete this triangle, this beta, so tan beta is opposite side divided by adjacent side. So 300 by 3000. So now you have to find out. Remember, in the formula, you know factored shear force and bending moment you have to find out. So for a cantilever beam, factored shear force is what? I have to go back here only. At this point, what is the shear force at this section? Shear force, as I taught you in the third semester, shear force is nothing but sum of all the vertical force either to the right or the left side of the section. Now if I take right side I have only this UDL 75 kilonewton per meter. So sum of vertical force how much? 75 kilonewton per 1 meter. My right side length is 2 meters. This is 2 meters. This is 75 kilonewton per 1 meter. So total will be 75 into 2, which is 75 into 2 is equal to 150 kilonewton is my factored shear force. That is this. Similarly, factored bending moment is 75 into 2. 75 into 2 is the total UDL, and that will act at a distance of 2 by 2. So 75 into 2 square WL square by 2. This is 75 into L square by 2. L is not 3 meter because we are considering only 2 meter from the free end. So 75 into 2 square by 2, or if you want to write here separately, this is your beam, this is your UDL. Now this is 2 meter. So this 75 into 2 will act as the centroid, that is 150. And the distance will be half of this span, that is 1. Half of 2 is 1. So 150 into 1 is 150 kilonewton meter, or WL square by 2. That is your MU at that particular section. So we found out all the values required. So in page number 72, nominal shear stress is given by tau is equal to VU plus or minus MU by D tan beta by BD. Now you see, you have to choose whether plus sign or minus sign, right? I explained before only. Here, I don't know whether, 1 second. Here, if like this is the kind of beam you have, we are tapering from one end to the fixed end. Now bending moment also will be like this. If it is UDL, it will be a parabolic curve. It will not be plane curve, it will be a parabolic curve. Now when you go from free end to the fixed end, your depth is increasing. Similarly, when you go from free end to the fixed end, your bending moment is also increasing. If both are increasing in the same direction, you will use minus according to the code. You read the code, you will understand it. Okay, so in this one, I am going to use minus sign because my bending moment is also increasing, my depth is also increasing, so minus. So here you have to be very, very careful with the unit. Shear force should be in newtons. Bending moment should be in Newton millimeters. Right? Otherwise, you should change all D, B, D also in meters. Okay. So 150 into 10 cube is the VU, means here, minus 150 into 10 power 6, that is the MU value, divided by D is 350 mm. Remember, D I am substituting for that particular section, not the depth at the fixed support. Wherever the shear stress is asked, nominal shear stress, there it is 350 only. Into tan beta is 0.1 divided by 250 into 350. If you calculate, the nominal shear stress is coming out to be 1.224 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. So this is another type of problem where beams of varying depth. How will you? Now hereafter you will design the shear reinforcement like same. Tau V only is a problem. Tau V you found out. Then you will find out tau C max you will find out. Then rest of the procedure will remain same as we followed the last two classes. Okay. So this is your answer. Any doubt so far? Any doubt? Anybody having any doubt?
Sir.
Okay. So now, because your bending moment is increasing numerically in the same direction of the depth, we are using minus sign. Okay. This is minus sign is because this reason. Okay. Now, remember in the last T-beam design, we designed this beam. We have told we have designed only for the bending moment, not for the shear. I told the shear we will design when we come to shear section. I am not going to do it everything here because it is there in the PPT. So I already explained how to design for the bending moment. Now shear we will see. So these are the things that we already discussed. The beam is placed 3 meter center to center, 5 meter by 15 meter is the internal size. So how to calculate the loads, right? Everything we discussed in the last class. Live load, right? Live load, self heat of slab, and then floor finish, the total load on the slab, and how the transfer of load will happen from the slab to the beam. Although this is not correct because it is not a one-way slab, but I am assuming that this is one-way slab and doing the calculations. So we have calculated load on the beam. So total UDL on the beam is coming out to be 30 kilonewton per meter, and total factored UDL on the beam is 1.5 into 30, that is 45 kilonewton per meter. So this is the thing that you should remember. Total factored UDL is 45 kilonewton per meter. So we have found out bending moment is equal to WL U into L effective square by 8. It is coming out to be 158 into 10 power 6 Newton millimeter or 158 kilonewton meters. So for this we already designed the reinforcements. You go through this. This is in the second unit. We already done it. These are all reinforcement for the flexure or bending moment. These and all we have done it. Okay. So all this stuff you go through it. Now we are going to do the design of shear reinforcement. The total factored UDL load on the beam is 45 kilonewton per meter. So factored shear forces, because it is a simply supported beam with the UDL, the maximum shear force is WU into L effective by 2. WU into L effective by 2. L effective is 5.3. We found out 45 is this one. So we are getting 119.25 kilonewton. So you can design for 120 kilonewton. It's no harm. You are making it to the whole number. Okay, don't reduce to lower number. It should reduce. You should increase. In the design, you will always design for a higher load, not the lower load. If it capacity asked, you will take a lower load. But if a design, you would always design for a higher load. Okay. So that is the factored shear force. So now you know nominal shear stress in the beam tau V is equal to, since it is a T beam, tau V is equal to BW into D. This is a BW into D. It is not B into D. So BW is 300 mm in this design. All this thing you substitute, you are getting tau V is equal to 1 Newton per millimeter square. And design shear strength of concrete tau C and check for shear reinforcement. That is the next step. So from tensile steel provided 100 AST by BD, I have provided 3 number of 22 mm bar, I think. So from that I found out tau P value. For this P and the grade of concrete, using linear interpolation from table 19, you find out what is the value of tau C. I got 0.646 Newton per millimeter square. So tau B is nominal shear stress acting on the beam is 1 Newton per millimeter square. By concrete alone can resist only 0.646 Newton per millimeter square, and so this is less. And the tau C max from table 20 is 3.5. Now my tau V is greater than tau C and less than tau C max, so I have to design the shear reinforcement. Now in the design of shear reinforcement, factored shear force is 120 kilonewton or 120 in 10 cube Newton. Shear resisted with the concrete alone VC is equal to tau C into BD. Tau C we found out 0.646. So B means BW here, BW into D. That is, so concrete alone can resist a 77 kilonewton. So out of 120 kilonewton, 77.52 kilonewton is resisted by the concrete alone without providing any shear reinforcement. So shear to be resisted by the shear reinforcement, that is VUS. VUS equal to VU, total factored shear force minus shear resisted by the concrete VC. So 120 minus 77, that is 42.48 kilonewton. So design of vertical stirrups. You assume 2-legged 8mm dia vertical stirrup. So the spacing of stirrups is, you from page number 73, you have a vertical stirrups formula 0.87 Fy ASV D by SV. So you have ASV is 2 into pi by 4 8 square. So if you adopt this SV, you can calculate from this. SV is coming out to be 339.92, and this is the value, first spacing you found out. Now check for spacing from 26.5.1.5 from page number 47. The spacing shall not exceed 0.75 D or 300 mm. Now you have three different values. Number one was 339 millimeter from the previous step, and here it is 412.5, and third is 300 mm. So final spacing should be less than or equal to this, all these values. So I am providing 2-legged 8 mm diameter vertical stirrups at 300 mm center to center. You can provide, if you find that 300 may be exactly equal, you can provide 295, 290, 275, whatever. So I am provide 2-legged 8 mm diameter vertical stirrups at 300 mm center to center. Then finally, check for deflection. These are all, we already done it. These are all part of last unit. Okay. So these and all we have done it. Detailing. This is what I wanted to tell you. Detailing of reinforcement will be like this. This is a 3 number of 22 mm bars, and this is your longitudinal section. In the longitudinal section, this is 3 number of AS 22 bar longitudinal bar, and these are the shear stirrups which you have designed. Now 2-legged 8 mm stirrups. I cut it, means this span is more, but I am cut it. Okay, so 3 number of 22, this one, and these are the vertical stirrups, which is 2-legged 8 mm vertical stirrups at 3 mm center to center. These are also same stirrups. Okay, so if you look at this cross section alone, people should be able to understand all the detail. Okay, my flange width is this much, my thickness of the slab is 125 mm, my width of the web is 300 mm, my main AST is 3 number of 22 mm bars. My stirrups spacing is 2-legged 8 mm diameter vertical stirrups at 300 mm center to center. So as I told you, this question will be for 24 marks. This one. Design an intermediate beam for T-beam for flexure and shear. Use M30 grade concrete. Draw to scale longitudinal section and cross section of the beam, showing the reinforcement details. So all these things you have to do. These are all reinforcement, main reinforcements, calculation of loads, calculation of bending moments, and then all these things, right? These are all design of main reinforcement, check for spacing, and then design of shear reinforcement, and checks for spacing of stirrups, then check for deflection, then finally detailing of reinforcement. So this much you have to do for 24 marks. Okay, so that's for today, and